Welcome to episode 62 of the We Don't Know Jack podcast. What's up, Emily?
Not much. I'm exhausted,
Oh,
but
shocking. You're tired.
we made it today.
We
I'm
did.
here.
Hopefully, it's be a little more consistent on Tuesdays. Coming out, I don't know. We have weird schedules. We both work weird times and have weird stuff going on. So
Yeah.
I tell you this much though, it won't happen on Wednesdays.
You got trivia.
Uh-huh.
You're
Trivia.
like an old man. You got a schedule every Wednesday night. You got to go
Trivia
to
and bingo every
trivia.
week. I don't miss bingo or trivia.
Do you actually go places to play bingo?
Not yet.
Okay. Give it about
Give it a
3
couple
years.
weeks.
Weeks?
I
Okay.
love bingo, man.
We'll find somewhere for you to go play bingo. I'll put you in a nice retirement home.
I'm having a great time. I'm going to Florida in a couple weeks.
Oh,
And
so you are going to a retirement home?
well, they have bingo 3 times a week, and I love bingo.
And you go all 3 times?
Oh yeah. Oh, I play like 3 or 4 cards now. Now that I'm an adult, and I have my own money and stuff. When I was a kid, I would play like one card, and I would maybe get to play because it would cost like $2 or $3. Now that I have my own money and I'm a grown man, I can play as many cards as I want.
So anytime you say you don't have money, you do, but you're just saving it to play bingo.
Okay, let me rephrase this. I have money to spend $2 a card for bingo 3 times a year.
Okay.
And then there's also this was really fun last year. They had a comedy auction. It was at a bar down the road, and they had really cool. That's how I found out about those flip flops. Was
Oh,
this comedy thing, and it was actually really fun. I drug Jude with me, and I was like, I like bingo, and they would have bingo. You play 3 games of bingo every hour for free beer, and I love bingo. I had like they give you strips of 3 cards, and I think I had like 8 of them. I think I was playing like 25 cards. I didn't win, but it was cool.
you almost have with that many cards, you got like double fisted the dabber
Oh, I was
thing.
going quick. Well, hey, I won bingo at school. You remember that?
You did. You got a cooler
It's a
too.
good cooler too.
You got a good prize
I know I
for
did. I got a really good
winning with
price.
bingo. I didn't think they would have like good stuff like that.
I used it at the graduation party.
Oh, you did.
We didn't talk about that.
No, honestly, it's been it's been
It's
like way
um,
past.
it's been almost
That
a month.
happened back in May,
I've been May 17th.
so almost a month
Yeah.
ago.
It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. I never got to have a high school graduation party, so it was nice having the college one that I always wanted.
Yeah.
All my friends were there.
Hmm.
Almost all my friends. There was a couple that couldn't make it, but almost all my friends were there. My whole family was there. Actually, really, honestly, there was only about half. You know how many people were there? There was a lot of people there. That was probably half my family.
That. How many people total do you have?
Well, the picture we took, you know that picture we took?
Yeah,
There was 24 of us in that, I think.
I never got that photo, by the way.
Okay, I'll send it to you when we're done here. It's on
Not
my
that I know
Instagram.
of. Okay, I'll just screenshot it off.
I'll send you all of them. But one of them, that is probably my favorite picture I've ever taken
Yeah,
with all you guys in it. All my friends, my brother, my sister, everybody's in that picture. It's the first one on my Instagram if you haven't seen it yet. It's not on the podcast page, but it's on my page, and that's one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken.
yeah.
I really like that one.
It took a few minutes for us to figure out how to fit everyone in.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest picture I've ever taken. There was 24 of us just in that. There was 10 or 12 people from JP's that showed up that weren't in that picture.
Yeah.
So that's sitting at about 35. Abby's not in that picture. Tyler wasn't in there either. They both left before that.
Hmm.
And then I would say, well, I sent 30 thank you cards.
Okay, because I know I got one.
And most of those were to family. You got one, Abby got one, Brendan and
Yes,
Missy got one, my brother got one. Other than that, those 25, and those are 2 to 3 people each. There was kids. I'd say probably 75, 80 people there.
that's a lot.
It didn't seem like 80 people though, because people came in spurts.
Yeah, it wasn't all at like one time.
It was good too. My mom made all the food. Brendan
The
made
food
part of the stuff.
was really good.
Food was really good. My mom did a great job with that.
Yeah,
That is not easy to cater for 75 people like
for
that.
that many people, no.
And she had it exactly right.
Yeah. Was
You left
there much
before.
left?
No. There was little enough left that we could throw it away and feel okay with it.
Okay.
You know how usually at those things people are going around, you want some fried chicken?
Mm-hmm.
You know the staple of every Midwest, either wedding or party or whatever it is, there's two things. What is it?
Two things.
There's two things. There's two parts of the meal that are staples.
Beer.
Well, three.
That are staples. Well, I guess is it Midwest or like St. Louis?
Both.
Because if it's St. Louis, I would say sometimes gooey butter cake.
Gooey butter cake. I wasn't thinking that, but yeah.
Okay, well you had
Okay.
gooey butter cake
That was
though.
amazing cake too,
It
wasn't it?
was.
My grandma did a great job on that. That was so
Yeah.
good cake. There's dessert at trivia up at JP's on Wednesday nights, and somebody said, "We need your grandma to make a cake for one of the desserts one night." That was amazing.
Wait, so what are the two staples?
Well, there's maybe a couple, but fried chicken, mustard
Okay,
chili, and pulled pork.
see, I've been to a wedding. I've only been to one wedding, and they don't have any of those.
Okay, you went to probably a fancier wedding.
Yeah, it was not a redneck Eureka
Hey, hey now,
wedding.
hey now, hey now.
Mine was a North County Chesterfield wedding.
Okay, see, that's the problem. These
Yeah.
aren't Baldwin weddings.
No. This was a we have some money wedding, but our family has more money.
Did you see you were down there the day we were doing radio after I was, and I was showing you there was wedding pictures pulled up on the computer.
Yes.
That was a fancy wedding.
That and they it had a reason to be fancy.
Yeah, his wife had some money.
Yeah.
Her
Well,
wife's
she
dad
did.
has some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That was
anyway,
a that did look like a nice wedding though.
yeah.
I think no matter the budget, you can have a fun wedding.
Oh, my mom's wedding was great, and it was at Berry Park.
Yeah, it all to me it all depends on the people you invite.
Exactly. My dad's wedding was really fun. I was the only one there not drunk.
How old were you?
I was 17.
Okay, so legally not allowed to drink.
Yeah, I couldn't drink. I was 16 or 17. I couldn't drive yet, I knew, but I knew I was over 16.
Okay.
Uh, that was fun. My dad's friends are a lot of fun. I've known them all my whole life. We had a great time. I was dancing. I was having, that's the night that I was never like shy, but I was a little less like I am now.
Yeah.
And that was probably the night where things kind of changed a little bit, where I was like, this is fun and I don't care what people think.
Was that your dad's wedding?
My dad's wedding. Well, I never really cared what people think, but like I didn't go to school dances and stuff. I didn't dance. I didn't do that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. It wasn't my thing. But yeah. But back to the food at the graduation party. Any kind of party really. There's one of those three things in the area. There's either pulled pork, fried chicken, or muscatoli.
See, now I'm trying to think what I had at my high school grad party.
Do you remember the anniversary party I went to that I couldn't get you to go with me to?
Did they have
Pulled
fried
pork.
chicken? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
pulled pork and fried chicken actually.
I th there was I feel like there I would have to ask my mom about it because she planned the whole thing. But for some reason I feel like there was some kind of chicken
No, yeah, there's
at
almost
my
always
grad
chicken.
party. I
There's
don't know exactly if it was fried chicken, but I feel like we
there
had
I guess there was
something.
chicken at my party too.
Yeah.
It wasn't fried. But yeah, there's usually some kind of cake, gooey butter cake or brownies or something.
Hmm.
They're staples around here.
Well, I feel like some of that is just party food.
Hmm. Yeah. But it was a fun party. I did make so I my mom was adamant that I am not allowed to get blasted drunk because
Yes,
at my
she
siblings' high
she
school.
made that very clear when I
Yeah,
arrived.
because you were one of the first ones there, and she was almost like she didn't tell you to make sure I behaved, but she kind
I
of
wasn't watching you. I wasn't
no. But it was
going to
like
babysit you.
it was like no. But you saw her, and she was like, "You're not getting drunk."
Yeah, she said that to you, and you were also next to me. So
Yeah,
therefore, the gift I gave you,
yeah. You gave me
I
a
was like,
bottle.
I have to give this to him because I'm not gonna drink it, but hopefully he saves it.
You know what's funny is I already had a bottle of that there.
I know I gave it to you, and because you made so many jokes about, so I gave Jack a bottle of D Betty's,
Lemon.
which is like your staple drink at this point.
That's all I drink. It's honestly all I drink at this point.
And you made so many jokes that you were like, you can either give me a bottle of that or cash. And I wasn't
Did I
giving
say
you
that?
cash. Yes.
I don't remember saying that.
Said it a few times.
I don't
And
remember saying that at
and
all.
I knew like, oh, I'm not giving him cash. So I was on the phone with Abby as I was that if I had you write her a card for a thank you gift. And I was on the phone
You
with
had
her
no
at
idea
home.
why I sent her a card either.
Well, I counted her as giving it to you
Did she
because
know
she,
that though?
oh yeah, I told her like, hey, this is coming from both of us, coming out of my wallet, but you're helping me find it in the liquor store.
Oh, she went with you?
No, she was on the phone.
No. That's one of
Because,
you can find that at Walmart. Like that's an easy one to find.
yeah, but there's a liquor store right next to my house, so
Oh.
I just drove like 3 minutes away instead of 15.
What was really funny is about, I don't know, an hour before we got to the park, we stopped at the liquor store to get me a bottle of that.
You did
Because I only had two shooters.
because as soon as I had it in the brown paper bag
That was
too.
funny.
Well, I wasn't gonna wrap it. Like, I don't know how to wrap a bottle
Yeah.
and have it like not break. So I just left it in the paper bag that they gave me. So I handed it to you, and you go, you know what's funny? I already have a bottle of that.
I
And
because I
you
knew what it
open the
was.
cooler.
I, I knew what it was when you pulled it out.
Oh yeah.
Now, what was funny, so I had a bottle of lemonade too, and there wasn't much left in it, so I wasn't sharing it. And Tyler comes in, and I forgot I had promised him lemonade. He goes, "You got lemonade?" And I said, not that I'm sharing."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I behaved. I don't know, it was 2 o'clock. We were 2 hours in there. I was the last one to start drinking.
Who started drinking? Were people pre-gaming?
No, but like some people had started drinking before, my family had started drinking before
Okay.
the party started. I think the first one to have a drink was my brother's girlfriend. Could be wrong. And then I think my sister's boyfriend was next. Could be wrong.
So,
I'm not important.
so the in-laws started.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good people though. I like them. They're fun people. Anyway, so I was barely drunk at this point. I'm at the point in time. So it's about 2 o'clock. I just started drinking. Man, this game is terrible.
By the way, we're once again getting a live play-by-play of the
Oh, that
drunken
was a
game.
highlight from earlier in the game. Never mind. So I was so I'll set the scene. My mom made the food. I had three tacos, two beef, one chicken, lots of nacho cheese, two big pieces of gooey butter cake, a piece of sheet cake, and something else, all in about 20 minutes. So then I had two Deep Eddies lemonades on top of that, which is a lot of sugar. And then I had a Jello shot, and then I had
You
another.
had two Jello shots.
I know. Then I had another Jello shot, and before the second Jello shot, I chugged a bottle of water, which was because it was hot, which
Yeah.
was a bad idea. Because you know how like sometimes when you drink water too fast, it'll bubble up in your stomach.
You feel bloated.
Yeah, and you're fine for a sec. It goes away in a second, but normally you don't eat seven tacos and all this the crap that I
You
had.
don't shove your face full of food.
Right, and sugar and booze, and it was not a smart decision.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get called over to do a Jello shot by my mother, I think, who was the one that was.
I
It
Was it your mom or your grandpa?
might have been both.
Because your whole family was hitting the Jello shots.
Oh yeah, they were. Now the funniest part, my 93-year-old great grandma, she listens to the show. Grandma Ed, we love you. She did, I think, one or two of them, and said this was weak, is what I was told.
She said that?
What I was told. I don't know if that's true or not,
Oh, I
but
didn't hear about that.
yeah, it was pretty funny. It was really funny. You guys met her and you guys were fans right away. She's awesome.
She was the one drinking the hard seltzer, right?
The hard
Okay.
tea, yeah, that was
Yeah.
her. Yeah, she's awesome. We're she's the best. And I know she listens to some of these.
You're a legend for drinking that hard seltzer.
They're big fans of you, Grandma.
Yes,
Anyway,
we are.
so I throw the second Jello shot back, and I can't. Do you chew Jello or do you swallow it?
It depends how big
Like I
the
could. So
piece
Brendan made
is.
Jello shots. Friend of the show, Brendan. I've known him for ever. We've been friends since we were little kids. I think I've known him longer than you've known Abby. Like we've been friends a long time. I got him to make me Jello shots, and he makes strong Jello shots. And as soon as so I had taken a sip. I made my third glass of lemonade, and I took a sip of it, and I could feel it, and I'm like, this isn't going to be good. Like I was going to slow down. Like this is not going to be good. And you've seen me. I can drink. Like
Yeah.
I can. I'm not a big drinker, but I can drink. I can hold my liquor most of the time,
Hmm.
unless I'm blacked out. Then it, you know. Well, I take the second Jello shot, and as soon as it touched my mouth, I was like, I'm going to throw up. Like I could feel it. I was like, this is going down. This is not going to be good. And next thing you know, I'm puking in a bush.
Now, from my perspective, we're gonna change sides
Now,
here.
granted, remember, like I said, my whole family and all my friends.
Yes, everyone you know was
It was pretty
there.
much everybody who's important in my life. Just about. There was a couple people that weren't there, but you know.
Now, from my side, we were at a public park.
Yep.
We were sitting under a pavilion.
Yep.
I'm with Ella, friend of the show, Jude, who's also been on, and Jude's girlfriend. So we were old talking about what I don't remember. But we watch Jack take the jello shot, and people are like kind of clapping. And then we go back to conversation. So we're all four of us are like talking, looking at each other, not really paying attention to anything else happening. All of a sudden, we hear loud cheers and clapping.
And that's the second time.
And no, that was the first time.
Oh,
That was the first time. And I turned my head to the left slightly, and I see Jack hunched over in a bush.
that was bad.
And he turns around. And immediately as I saw him hunched over, I knew what happened.
I think I pumped my fist too.
I think you did. I
I'm pretty sure I did.
think you went doing like a little fist pump.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
I
I
did.
go, and all of us just look. And I remember Jude turning around because he was sitting opposite me, and he goes, "Did Jack just throw up?" And I go, "Oh yeah." Now
You've seen me drink way more than that and not throw up too.
thing is, I didn't know how much you were
I was
drinking or not
pouring,
drinking
I was
because I
pouring.
wasn't like paying attention to what you were doing.
You've seen me do 6 shots in an hour and be fine.
You weren't really fine at your birthday.
I was fine until we got to Casey's house.
You weren't throwing up, but
That's what I mean by fine.
you were kind of gone.
Yo, I was blacked out.
But the no, Jack did throw up again, and this time all four of us actually watched it
Thanks.
happen
That's a wonderful thought to put in our listeners'
because
mind.
you were like we could tell by you were talking to someone and we could tell by your face like something's not right.
I
And
wasn't
we
done.
watched you like run over to the bush
At
and
least
we
I
go,
puked on the
oh,
bush.
there he goes.
At least it was the bush and not the pavilion.
Oh yeah. I
I've done
mean,
that too.
we don't need to know all the places you've
Boy
thrown up.
Scout summer camp, 2012.
We can get into that later.
I had heat.
But all four of us look over and we're like, oh, he's going to the bush. It's not going to be good.
I felt so much better though. I turned around and
You,
I'm like,
you
I'm all
said
good.
that when you turned around.
Oh, I felt
When you,
great.
when you turned around, I heard you go, I feel so much better. And I
People
go,
rallied, brother.
I
People
hope
rallied.
so.
I was like, I felt fine after that. I just needed to get it out.
You seemed like so much better. And after you threw up, you came up to the table we were at. I remember saying, go away.
I wasn't sick.
No, I knew you weren't sick, but I was like, if you feel like you're gonna puke, you better
No, I
run the other way.
yeah. It was it had to happen. But other than
Oh,
that, we had a lot of fun. It was a good time. A couple of people I wish could have been there, but I understand things happen. They couldn't make it.
mhm.
A couple friends of the show, a couple friends of the show that live in Indiana and other places that couldn't make
Yeah.
it.
Well, if you live out of town,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she lived
I
out.
don't consider that not showing up. Like
No,
you
she did not show
know.
up. We knew she wasn't coming.
Yeah. It was
She
for
yelled at
fun.
me though to invite her.
She wanted an invitation, gave her the
I
invitation.
did. I think she said in case you're famous one day or something.
Yeah.
Could
The
just
one you gave
fell
me
over.
is
He
still
flung stuff up.
sitting in my backpack.
I still have 12 of them in my backpack.
Yeah, I I gotta take that out.
Yeah, it was a fun party though. It was a good party. I know how to party.
It clearly
My,
threw up in a
hey,
bush
hey,
twice.
my birthday was a great party. Everybody had a great time at my birthday. I know that much.
Yeah.
Did you not? Like my birthday was fun.
Well, my entertainment was listening to you call yourself Optimus.
That was at the end of the day though. That wasn't.
Also because you were drunk. You being drunk was my entertainment.
I'm a fun drunk.
Until you puke on your shoe, I have to
Oh,
drive you
yeah.
home.
I
And
remember,
get you into your room.
yeah, I don't really remember that.
It,
I tried to wash the pants in the shower that night.
okay.
I woke up
You
the next
you
day.
being drunk is all fun and games until
There's puke in your
you
car.
have to like well, until there's puke and have to babysit you.
Okay, you babysat me for like 45 seconds carrying me up the steps.
No, I also had to drive you back that night
Yeah, but I got in the car pretty easily.
with a pukey shoe.
I had a bag on it.
Like any better. Do
I
you
don't.
remember walking in the hallway with the bag on your shoe and it started to slip off? And you go, the bag.
So I'll tell you what I remember. I remember, well, you know the part I remember from the truck. About
Yes,
what?
I remember
Yeah,
what you told me.
yeah. Well, I don't necessarily remember saying it, but I know it happened.
Yes.
I remember getting out, pulling in the driveway, and Dan having to help me get out,
Mm-hmm. That did happen.
and then immediately puking.
So me and the other friend we were with, we went back in the house and we saw Dan get you out of the truck. By the time we came back out of the house, you had already been going in the yard.
Dan said I fully earned his respect that night because I held that in for that long.
See, I didn't know you were. I knew on the way to Casey's house you were like, I'm gonna puke. And we kept yelling, hold it in.
Yeah, I was being serious. Well, anyway, so I remember puking in the yard and then walking to your car, and I looked down and there was puke on my leg and my shoe. And I was like, oh man. And then Dan took my shoe and tried to wipe it off in the snow, which that did a whole
Yeah.
lot of good. All it did was get my shoe wet, and I was walking, I got a wet shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed it on my pants. And then I got in the car and there was a bag on my shoe. And then
Well,
we
the
got back.
other part, I don't know if you remember, but you and Dan were debating if you should just take the pants off or
Yeah,
not.
I don't remember that. I remember getting back to school and my belt
Yeah.
being undone. And I
Yeah,
looked
that's why
down.
it was undone because you were about to take them off because you didn't want to keep your pants on
That
with
probably would have been the smarter
the
idea.
puke on them. Well, I wasn't having you get in my car with underwear.
Why? It's the same as shorts.
No.
Yes.
with the bodily functions you talk about, I'm
Oh,
not sure was in the underwear or what has been
they
in
were
the
clean.
underwear that I want on the passenger seat
Well,
of
we,
my
we could have
car.
stolen a towel from Casey or something.
I don't know if Casey would, if he would let that happen to a towel.
He would have got it back. But yeah, I remember walking up the steps and being like, "Why is my belt not on?"
I think
And
I just told you keep moving.
yeah, you did. And then you kind of held me up and dragged me up the stairs, and I got in the building and I unlocked my room. And you said, "I'm leaving." I said, "Hold on." I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
don't
what
know why
happened.
you
And
want me to stay.
I don't
I
know what
left
happened.
because I also had to drop someone else off.
I know I gave you a hug and said, "I love you." And then I went to sleep.
I think you patted me on the. It was like
No,
a
I definitely
weird
gave you, I
side
remember
hug.
hugging you,
It was a weird side hug because you were like,
stumbling.
you couldn't really stand and I didn't want you to fall. So I just kind of like leaned you back up
I
against
don't,
your bed.
I remember giving you a normal hug. So I don't know about
No, that is not what happened.
Oh, well, anyway,
Because you just like stumbled into me.
I thought I gave you a hug.
No.
In my mind, I was giving you a hug. Anyway, I think I feel like we told this whole story before, but anyway, you leave. I take my jeans off and I put them under the shower, and I turn the lower shower part on, the nozzle at the bottom. I turn
The
that on,
tub.
and I start rinsing my pants off, and I rinse my shoe off. Well, I go to bed and I forgot about this. So I wake up the next day hung over, like the worst hangover I've ever had in my life. And I stand up and I'm still drunk. And I walk into the bathroom. I have no memory at the time about my shoes or my jeans because I was that drunk. I remembered it all. I came back after I walk into the bathroom. There's my
Yeah.
jeans and my shoes in the shower. It's like, what in the hell happened last night?
See, I was surprised you didn't like text me immediately and be like, what happened?
Oh, I remember most of it. I always remember. There was just a few, like the truck ride was a little fuzzy. I don't remember anything in your car at all. And other than that, I remember most of it.
See, not, well, I don't think anything like interesting happened in my car because I
I
was like driving so fast. Because at one point we were like halfway there and you said, I'm gonna throw up.
Well, let's set this scene too. We went from Eureka to North O'Fallon back to Lindenwood,
Hmm.
which is over an hour round trip,
Yeah.
or over an hour one way from JP's to Casey's house to school is over an hour drive.
Yes.
Why I didn't just go home at my mom's, I don't know.
That probably would have been the
But then
smart.
somebody would have had to drive me out in the morning and it just wasn't worth it. Anyway, yeah, it was a wild night.
Yeah.
My graduation party, I stopped drinking and I was good to go by like 4. I was like sober.
Well, see, you didn't
All
have,
that came back up out of my system.
well, that, and you also didn't have nearly as much to drink as you did on your
Oh God.
birthday.
I drink like that one day a year
On your birthday.
on my birthday. I get messed up on
Yeah.
my birthday.
Well, look, you have an excuse for that.
And that's gonna happen the next handful of years.
Until you realize, oh, I can't handle this anymore.
Yeah. Well, so I don't make big deals out of my birthday just because it's my birthday. I make a big deal on my birthday to get all my friends together.
Okay.
That's really the only reason I do what I do for my birthday. Because I went pretty big for my birthday this year. Last year was just the same.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna do it the next couple of years just because it's an excuse to get all my friends together.
Yeah.
Because when you get to a certain point, you need a reason to hang out, kind of.
Hmm.
Like it's easier if you have a reason. So stuff like that, it's
Yeah.
nice to get everybody together. But yeah, that's why I do things like that for my birthday.
And then the alcohol just happens.
Well, the good see the thing about birthdays is you don't have to pay for alcohol on your birthday if you do it right.
Yeah.
And especially if you invite the right people.
If you invite a bunch of alcoholics, you're good to go.
Like the whole house, the whole Casey's house group,
Yeah.
that I wouldn't have to pay for a drink all night. Not that I
No.
expect them to buy. I never expect them, but I just know how they are.
Well, it's like a unwritten rule that if you go out for someone's birthday, you pay for either their dinner or a drink.
You buy him a shot. I mean, we paid for, I think I paid for your dinner for your birthday.
That was like a week before my birthday, but yes, you
I
did
was out of
pay.
town for your birthday. And I think I told you about it, but I was told to tell you about a party that's happening for,
Oh, I think you did.
yeah, I was told again
Yeah.
to tell you about it.
Okay.
So I think he expects you there. He said
I'll
he's
have
going to
to
tell the
see.
place that it's your birthday too.
Okay. I don't drink.
Not that. I think he just wants, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah,
Okay.
when Sir Sloptimus comes out, it's never good.
No. And you
Fun.
know it's bad when you start calling yourself that. And
Yeah.
that's the only way you referred to yourself on the way back from JP's.
Well, I behaved myself most of the night. I
We
know.
knew at that point, oh, he's gone.
At one point, I was talking to my mom and my brother's girlfriend, and I had my arm on my mom and my arm on my brother's girlfriend, and we were having a conversation. And my mom goes, "You need to take a little break." I said, "Why is that?" She said, "You're hugging your brother's girlfriend." And I said, "Okay, I've hugged her before."
God.
I was, I
Yeah.
was I was messed up that night.
It was entertaining
That was one of the most fun nights of my life.
that you so much remember.
Yeah, I was so sick for 2 days. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know how. I think we've told this story before.
I'm sure we have.
I don't think we got into as much detail though.
No.
So yeah, there's been some fun stuff that's happened this year. I got pretty drunk at honky tonk one night, but I behaved myself mostly. That was no fault of my own. That was Brooklyn being a bad influence on me. Now
We
I don't
do
know
not blame her.
what.
We do not blame her.
Oh, we
Come
love
on.
her, but it was
No, we do love her. We just don't blame her for that because she, no, she did encourage it. You did not have to follow through.
she yeah okay.
Remember, dare, peer pressure, always, you can say
Anyway,
no.
it
You
was
can always say
the
no.
fun one. I got convinced to get an apple pie shot. I never had one before. Every shot I've had before, I normally need water afterwards, except for like Fireball and that Tiger's Blood shot. Those I can do straight, especially when I'm drunk. Well, it got to the point. I tried to get a shot. I go get the shot, and I get a water. And I set the water. I had the water down, and I put the shot. I don't know what I did, but I had the water in the shot. She takes the water from me. She's like, "No, you're not getting water for this." And I took it, and I was like, "That tastes like apple pie as a drink." And I was
Well,
like, "Can I have my water now? I'm thirsty."
that's why it's called the apple pie shot.
Apparently, there's Everclear in that shit.
Well, you really want to get fucked up. Just,
Well,
just
it
yeah.
sits with other stuff and it dilutes it a little bit, is what I've been told.
Oh, it's still Everclear. Just
Man, those were
have a
good.
few of those, you'll be
Yeah, we need to go
fine.
there when school starts back up for you. When I come visit, we're going there.
Okay.
It was just kind of, I mean, it was kind of assumed I was going to come visit a couple times.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's take a little break. And we got some wrestling news coming up next. So, we got some wrestling news. There was a big weekend of wrestling. Money in the Bank was this weekend, and the first AAA show with WWE since they bought out AAA happened.
Did not know they did that.
Yeah, first time, brand new thing. They bought it out Mania night two, night one or night two. They announced it. El Hijo Vikingo's there. There's a guy named Mr. Iguana. He's super popular. I don't know anything about him, but he's dressed as an iguana. They got rid of Birdo as quick as they could. He was the champ when they bought it, and he's super like not allowed in WWE. Alberto Del Rio,
Okay.
remember him?
No.
He was dating Paige for a while, and I think he abused her. Then there were some kidnapping charges, and he's just it all got dropped, and it's all alleged. But he's not a very good man.
I would imagine not with those allegations.
Yeah, it wasn't kidnapping on Paige though. She said, Paige, she said on her podcast the other day that she every time she would drink, she would get blackout drunk and then realize, oh wait, I need to sober up. So she would do some cocaine.
Sounds not healthy.
Yeah, she was in a
But
bad place. It was,
yeah.
I think it was. right after she broke her neck for like the second time and couldn't wrestle anymore. So she was in kind of a dark place. I don't know though. I didn't listen to the interview. That's all I saw. But anyway, Money in the Bank was also this weekend. Now I did not get a chance to watch it, but I saw there were some results. Naomi won women's Money in the Bank. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet. She won Money in the Bank, which I'm okay with. I wanted Roxanne to win, but I was okay with it. There were some wild spots in there though. There always is in six people ladder matches, but man, it was wild. They buried Rhea under like seven ladders. I want to say it was Roxanne and Julia that did it. I can't remember, but they buried her in ladders. I didn't see her get break out, but she got out, and they tried to smash her in between a ladder. But you know how you have to hit the thing in to close the ladder.
Yeah.
They forgot to hit the thing in, and they're just trying to slam it, and it's not doing anything.
So did they just like bounce off of it?
No, they kept doing it, and then Roxanne realized she needed to kick it and knock
Oh.
the thing out, and then slammed her. It was pretty cool. Yeah, that was a fun match. And then Seth Rollins won the men's match, which is whatever. I understand why. It fits in with this new group that he's in with Heyman and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and all the Brawns. It fits. Now the big news. The big news. Main event. Logan Paul, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso. Tag match. Cena's got the belt. He's going to hit that move. Somebody comes in the ring dressed in all black. All I saw was major return at Money in the Bank. So I clicked on it on Reddit and I opened it up. I was like, who in the world could this be? And you could tell it's a black guy. And I was like, who in the world could this be? I had no idea who it could be. He pulls his mat. He takes out Cena, beats him up, gets up, grabs the belt, takes his mask off. Ron the Truth Killings. You know how we talked about on Thursday that he was gone?
Mm-hmm.
Our truth, Ron Killings, is back.
So he was never really gone.
No, he was gone. He was fully informed that his deal was not expiring. And there was so much outrage in the locker room and on the internet and the fans and everybody hijacking the show. We want truth. We want truth. We want truth. They had to bring him back.
Part of me doesn't believe that.
It's real. It's 100% real. I've looked into it. There's all kinds of reports from the people that are usually right about these things.
I don't know. Part of me is like, it's so like scripted and planned out that,
This was not planned out. You could tell this was not planned out because the locker room was genuinely upset. And you don't work the locker room. That's a thing in pro wrestling. You don't work the boys, is what they say. So, from what I heard, and this is all according to Fightful, he's right most of the time. He kind of annoys me sometimes, but he's good at what he does. Sean over at Fightful. They found out, I want to say pro wrestling something. I can't remember the name of the news source. It was a big one though. Said that there was so much outrage earlier in the week they started calling him about Tuesday, Wednesday ish to try to get him to resign to work on a deal. He wouldn't answer. He wouldn't answer. Nick Khan, the CEO, the one guy above Triple H, called him up and said, "Ronnie, we want you back," and they signed him.
so did they like up his pay for him to come back or what?
What I saw was they met in the middle. It wasn't on his end; it was on their end, them not wanting to pay him. And then they realized how valuable he was
Yeah.
because he is so just beloved by everybody. And we talked about it last week. I think they made Rhea take her shirt off
Oh, yeah.
because I don't know if you remember or not, but our truth was part of the Judgment Day for a little while.
No.
He was well, Judgment Day.
Yeah.
He decided he was part of the Judgment Day, and then he beat JD McDonough, and he said, "I'm in the Judgment Day. JD's gone," and they wouldn't kick him out, and they wouldn't. And Truth and Priest kept making each other laugh, and it was fun. And he would say, I'm part of the Judgment Day. Live, laugh, love." And they would get mad. We don't say that.
Well, like people like him because he plays the like dumb character.
Not dumb, just doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, so dumb.
Nah, I wouldn't call him dumb. I think it makes it more fun. Yeah, he's back. So he comes out Monday night. Nikki Bella came back too on Monday.
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, she didn't really do much. She said hi to Natty and walked off. And that was about it. And then she was Maxine Dupree and Natalia, gave them both a hug, walked off, shook Io's hand and said, I'm a huge fan, and that was about it.
Yeah, so not much to talk about with her then.
She's back for Evolution too, is really what it is.
Guess you gotta tease it somehow.
Yeah, she's that's what she's back for. And then Bailey came back. She hadn't been there since Mania. Anytime Bailey's back, I'm happy. But then Truth comes out, hijacks the show, gets up on the table, cut his hair, snip, snip, cut his hair, gone. You know he's got the dreadlocks,
Yeah.
gone, snipped it off. He said he wants to be taken more serious. He's gonna be more serious now.
So is he not gonna be the dumb character?
No, he's gonna. I honestly think they should have some fun and make him the champion just for a weekend, even. Now the other big news, my favorite Pepsi Phil,
Yeah.
hate that guy. He has said for years. So WWE works with Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get into Saudi Arabia, anything, but CM Punk and Saudi Arabia do not go well together. Something had happened, and the Miz had made a joke, and Punk told him to go suck a blood-covered Saudi dick or something.
Okay.
And Punk was adamant he will never go to Saudi Arabia. He will never go to Saudi Arabia. He won't go there because of reasons. Won't go to Saudi Arabia. Well,
Okay.
he comes out, interrupts Cena, and he says, "I want to fight you for that title." And Punk says, "Anytime, any place." Cena says, "Okay, I'll see you at Night of Champions in Riyadh." And I couldn't believe it. So the guy who's
So
all about human rights and all this other stuff, and he's all about every cause you can think of, he's a big supporter of
yeah.
everything. And his word is everything. His word is everything. The first time they ask him to go, he goes back on that. At least that's what it seems like.
See, I don't know enough about it to like give
I
input.
don't know either. I don't know a ton of it. I just know that he has said for years he wouldn't go over there, and then they wrote him off last year for it, and this year is the first time they've been to Saudi since then, and he's going. I don't care one way or the other. I honestly don't. I just think it's kind of entertaining that the guy who's
Yeah.
adamant about how messed up it is they go over to Saudi. There's a lot of business deals that go down in Saudi, unfortunately, for him.
For him, there are.
Just in general. Like it's unfortunate for him. He doesn't like Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
The
Well, I
president
know
was just over there the other day.
what?
The president was just over there the other day.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
This was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Not WWE president.
Okay, when you say the other day, I think like yesterday.
The other day for me is about a month ago.
Yeah, because you're on Facebook user time. You
Yeah,
see TikToks that went viral like 3 months ago.
yeah, pretty much. Well, I knew Trump was over there. Him and Brett Baer and Sean Hannity all went over there.
See, I haven't like been watching the news. I knew he was in a Qatar.
Yeah, that was that same time.
Okay.
Not to get political, but yeah.
That was like a month ago.
Yeah, I told you about a month ago.
Yeah, so not the other day.
That's the other day.
We can have this debate all day.
Just like 20 minutes away is right down the road.
I'm not getting into this because we got other things to talk
Yeah,
about.
that's mostly the wrestling news. Gunther won the title. I turned it off before, but Gunther won the title. He beat Jay. Yeet Man is no
Okay.
more.
R.I.P.
I don't know how Yeet got over like it. Actually, I do know. Him and Cody got drunk at a press conference and just started yelling Yeet all the time. Have you seen that?
No.
I'll send it to you. It's funny. You need to watch it. It's really funny. They are hammered.
Wouldn't that be like a reason to fire them?
No, no, they had already wrestled.
I want to know what kind of rules they have.
Cody and
I
Jey Uso, they don't have rules.
I feel like for any employee, you got
Not
have
the
some
two
kind of
biggest money makers
rule.
in the company. You can do whatever you want. Cody, well, it was Cody's line of vodka was the sponsor for the event. and they get
Oh,
they're both on Cody's bus. They won the tag team titles. I don't think they knew they had to do the press conference
oh, okay.
because they come in and Jay is barking. Cody is being Cody.
Yeah,
Cody's wearing a suit and tie, and he comes in just to let you guys know. He called him Oot. I don't know what that meant. He said Oot and I think he meant to say Oos because Oos is his thing in Samoa.
yeah,
He said we may have had a libation or two on the bus, and they are blasted drunk because they're like smacking each other while they're talking, and
yeah.
the whole thing is like 15 minutes, but I would say watch the whole 15 minutes. It's pretty funny.
Okay, I'm not gonna spend 15 minutes on that. I'll watch maybe 5.
Oh, you got to watch the whole thing. It gets better the whole time.
I'll skip to the end and watch
He
it.
says at one point, there's somebody there named Kasama, and he goes, Kasama been here longer, or she older than everybody. She knows everybody. She was here when both our daddies were here.
Gosh.
This is from about a
If
year.
I was her, I'd low-key be offended.
Well, she's been there since the 90s.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Do you know who both their daddies are?
Well, Dusty Rhodes is
You.
Cody Rhodes' dad.
Look at you knowing Dusty Rhodes.
I don't know who. It's something with the Samoan
No,
bloodline.
no. Cody
No?
Rhodes is
Okay.
not Samoan even
No,
remotely.
I'm talking about Jay Uso.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any of that.
His daddy is Rikishi.
Okay.
Big old man, about 400 pounds.
Oh, that dude.
You know, the guy with his cheeks
Okay.
out?
Yeah.
That guy. Some people, there's a guy on YouTube calls him the tribal cheeks. Roman's the tribal chief. He's the tribal cheeks.
That honestly should have been his name. I
Well,
feel like that's better.
they already had a Mr. Ass back then. They couldn't do both.
Yeah.
You know about Mr. Ass, right? A little bit.
You told me about it. That's how I
Oh
know.
yeah, when I hijacked your YouTube.
Yes. It's all back to normal now. So
Well, give it time.
good.
His contract runs up in about a month. Old Danhausen. That's what I
They're
saw.
gonna renew it.
Doubt it.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever you think.
He hadn't been on TV in a long time.
Not clearly not up to me because I know nothing.
Yeah. Phineas and Ferb, one of the greatest cartoons ever made, came back on Friday. I turned
Yeah.
it on and they're like 18-minute episodes, and I was watching for an hour and I realized I watched 5 of these already. Like, well, I might as well finish them. So I watched all 10.
They only put out 10.
They're good too.
Is it like has it changed much
It's
from
the same
what it
show.
used to be? Okay.
It's the same show. It's exactly the same. Same creator, same everything. I think I don't the girl that plays Vanessa, Olivia Olson,
I'm not sure.
is a writer now. I don't know if she was a writer before, but I know she was part of the music team before.
Okay.
Just don't know if she was always involved in storylines.
Yeah.
I've never looked into it because she was like she would have been 13 when the show started, so I think
I
she
doubt
was
it
doing the
then.
music. But her dad's the head writer, so
Oh, okay. Well,
and she
that
was doing the
makes a
music.
little more sense.
That show started almost 20 years ago.
Okay, don't make me feel old.
You want to feel old? Ashley
No.
Tisdale, you know her?
Yeah.
You know how old she is?
She's gotta be, she's probably 20 something in High School Musical. So she's probably, was she 30 in high
No,
school?
okay, other way. No, she's like 17 or 18 in High School Musical.
Most of them are like in their 20s, I think.
Well, High School Musical came out what, 03 or 05?
Right? I think the
Anyway,
first,
she's 40.
I was gonna guess in her 40s.
Yeah, I think she
Because
just
High School Musical came out like 20 years ago.
yeah. Well, Zach and Cody started. I want to say in 04
Yeah.
or I mean look it up. I don't know. 04 or 07. It was because she was on that.
She was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. She would have been probably maybe 21 when Phineas and Ferb started
I don't
ish.
know. I'd have to actually do math on.
Well, Phineas and Ferb started in 07, and I think she was born in 85. So
Okay.
Wait, no.
Wait.
Yeah, that puts her at about 20. Yeah,
See,
21.
I was mostly right.
That's Phineas and Ferb, though. I don't know how old she was in that
High
other
School
show.
Musical was maybe like 2 years before.
Yeah, I never really watched High School. I've seen the first one, but I never really was a fan of it.
It's good.
I
I
wasn't,
mainly watched it in school, so
you know how you were either a Camp Rock kid or High School Musical kid? There was that generation gap
no.
because Camp Rock was like 4 or 5 years afterwards.
Yeah, but I feel like most people liked both.
Well, there was the generation gap in between there.
Okay.
So, I mean, at least in my mind, that's how it was. Because I didn't really, I liked Lemonade Mouth if we're picking Disney Channel music movies.
Oh yeah, I feel like Lemonade Mouth is still underrated.
Have you heard about the Bop to the Top tour?
No.
Look into that. It's Disney Channel movies and TV shows, and it's the
Yeah.
actual cast members all teaming up together doing shows.
I okay,
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna look into that.
Vincent Martella and Ashley Tisdale were there. Um, Adam Hicks from Lemonade Mouth was there. I thought he was in jail, so I was surprised he's there.
I think that's a different
No, that's him.
guy,
I
I
looked it up
think.
for a robbery. Yeah, no, that's him.
Okay.
Now he's like a mental health counselor or something, but he's out of jail apparently. And then the dark hair girl, the guitar player in Lemonade Mouth,
Yeah.
she's on there. There's some people from Camp Rock. They're gonna be in Kansas City July 3rd. Tickets are $30. I looked into it.
Yeah, I'm not going to Kansas City for
If it
that.
was like Springfield, maybe, but
If
I
it
don't know.
was actually here, probably.
Oh, if it was here, I would go
Yeah.
because that's the show that would sell at the factory.
Oh, for sure, the factory.
Even maybe the music park. I
I'm
think
not sure on the capacity of the music park,
I think
but
in between the factory and the amphitheater.
yeah,
But yeah, it looks like it's cool. It's a cool thing. I don't know a ton about it, but yeah, Bop to the Top tour.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, that's all I saw who was in it. But the kid that plays Phineas, I guess he's not a kid anymore. I guess he's like 35.
I'm like, if it was came out 20 years ago,
They all
yeah.
sound exactly the same.
Well, I mean, I would kind of hope so.
Well, they're all doing voices too. If you ever hear how they actually talk, like Ashley Tisdale does not. The only one that talks like they do is Ashley.
Yeah.
Everybody else, Allison Stoner does a voice playing Isabella. Vincent Martella does a voice doing Phineas. Swampy, I think Swampy. Jeff Swampy Marsh, he does Doofenshmirtz. That's a voice.
Even Perry sounds the same.
That's a person doing that, making that noise.
I know.
I just found that out.
What do you think made the
I
noise?
thought it was just like they just had a sound effect for it.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a cool show. It's still funny. It's the same show, basically. Nothing's changed.
Well, I
It's just
have,
a new summer.
we only really have one topic to end with.
We just covered a whole bunch of topics.
Well, one topic to end with, we have one more.
Is this something I
And
know nothing about?
we don't really have, well,
Well, we
because
just recorded like 3 days ago.
yeah, I didn't have much time to put anything together clearly because we talked about Jack's bodily functions for
Hey
about
now, hey now.
first 30 minutes. But some big news came out about the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni lawsuit. Jack, I'm
Can't
not sure
wait
if
to
you
hear
saw
about it.
this, but Baldoni's lawsuit, his countersuit against the New York Times and Blake Lively was dismissed. So the judge dismissed the lawsuit, and Blake Lively's lawyers called it a win for her, and the judge said it was thrown out because her allegations against him were filed as a civil rights complaint which in some legal way, I'm not completely sure because I didn't do a whole legal deep dive on this. But because it was a civil rights complaint, it doesn't hold her liable for the claims she made. And for the New York Times lawsuit he had, it used the complaint she filed as the basis for the story. So, in a way, New York Times did not have any other information, so it could only write the article they put out based on her claims from her side. So
Unwinnable.
he
So,
so he basically tried to sue New York Times for defamation, which I kind of have a feeling that one would get dismissed
it's really hard to
because
prove defamation.
what?
It's really hard to prove defamation.
Well, that it's really hard to prove defamation in court, but also at the time New York Times put out that article, Justin Baldoni had not said anything. So they could only write a piece based on what Blake Lively had claimed.
Right.
They didn't have any other information about things that could have happened besides what they saw. So therefore, they didn't have anything else to write about.
Right.
So they were not found for defamation. So his whole lawsuit against Blake Lively got thrown out.
Well, there
But
goes that.
her lawsuit against him is still, as of now, still active.
They'll settle. They always do.
I I'm not sure if they will settle because she has come out and said that this is a win for women who have been, I don't want to say abused. I did not have time to look through her whole statement, but kind of like the what happened to Amber Heard that like stood up for women who have been through this kind of thing in
Amber
Hollywood.
Heard did all that to herself.
I I will say I was team Johnny Depp in that one, but people are comparing this to the Amber Heard Johnny Depp
I don't think
situation,
it's anywhere
which
close.
I would not compare it to that because they were actually in a relationship where there was some sort of abuse going on. This one was basically just we worked on a movie. One of us was alleged, I'm still gonna say allegedly.
Everything we say on this show is a
Yeah,
lid.
one of them was allegedly sexually harassed, and the other one claimed that they, the other one took over the project. So pretty much the whole drama with them is done.
Good.
The I I was so prepared for there to be cameras in the courtroom that it would just be Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, a live stream all over again.
No.
I
That's
was waiting
I
for
don't know
my
why
like
that was so boring to watch.
I was waiting for my week's worth of entertainment on this, but it's not gonna happen now.
I still don't know how you got that much entertainment out of that. That was so slow and drawn out and boring.
It was so entertaining.
It was not.
I also I like law and criminology
I
stuff.
do to an extent, but
So to watch something like that go down with, well, I don't know if Amber Heard is A-list because
she's in
I
the Avengers.
was she?
I
She was
think.
on Aquaman, I know that.
Yeah, she was in Avengers. Well, Aquaman was in Avengers, wasn't he?
No, he is DC, not
Yeah, that's what I
Marvel.
meant by Avengers was Aquaman.
I okay. I'm not getting into that debate
Don't
because
question it. Just move on.
I do have that part of like superhero nerd
Oh,
side.
yeah.
So
Well,
I'm not getting into Marvel versus
yeah.
DC. But she was in Aquaman. And honestly, that's the only thing she's in that I could name.
Yeah.
So, but watching two actors go to power actually have it live streamed, it was quite entertaining for me.
Okay. Well, I think that's about all we got this week. We'll be back hopefully next Tuesday. Hopefully, we may have a little more consistent schedule. We'll see. We're still trying to figure that out. We recorded
Yeah.
like 3 days ago, so
Yeah, so
hopefully
there wasn't much to talk about or catch up on.
we'll have one new episode a week. We say this every week, but yeah, I'm going to Branson this weekend for work. That'd be fun for a day, and then
Yeah.
yeah, we're going up there on Friday. I don't know where, what's happening. We're taking the truck and we're gonna do a show up there. Then we're gonna come back Sunday or Saturday morning. So it's an overnight trip.
Exciting.
hmm It's gonna be fun. My first road show. I don't know how it works at all. I'm just getting in the truck and I'm going.
I'll figure it out.
I was telling my dad about it and he said, they better not make you drive that truck. And I said, I hope not. That'll be a good friend of the show, Drew.
Yeah, you gotta assign one person to drive.
That ain't gonna be me. We
You
should
gotta
be
do
able to get
nose
there.
cone.
Hopefully we can get there without having to stop.
Yeah, it's not
But with me,
that.
we probably have to stop.
Yeah.
I have to pee a lot.
On that note,
I drink a lot of water. It
and you
happens.
have bowel issues.
Yeah. IBS. You know what
Yes.
IBS stands for?
I be shitting.
This girl I used to work with at the gym sent me that one time. I hadn't heard from her in like 2 years, and she sent me off TikTok shop one time and it's like, I saw this and thought of you. Hope you're doing good. I was like, well, it's good to hear from you.
Yeah.
I think she just graduated from Oregon. She's about to.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't
I
really
doubt
talk
she's
to her.
listening to this, but
No, I haven't seen her in a long time. I know I talk to her mom every once in a while. But yeah, that's about all we got this week. Next week, maybe one day we'll have some other people on here, but until then, it's
mm,
just us. It'll probably be us
yeah.
all summer. We'll see what'll happen. Maybe one day we'll get a third host again. Remember, we used to have like 12 people on the show.
Yeah.
We had a rotating door of like 12 people that would come on every other week,
That
and
was also
now we don't.
at school.
Yeah.
So
Well, it wasn't even all school people. It was just when we started,
true.
we had time to do stuff. But yeah, other than that, we'll be back next week.